Alright, first off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in highways and byways, pushing His word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps, the hopeful elect. Shalom. Pretty much, this is Brother Iron from Jimmy Jamaica camp, and you know, just want to come with a very, very quick lesson. Hope this is edifying. And you know, a brother, you know, was, explaining a few things, a while back, and he made the phrase, he said that he said horrible good teacher, but horrible brother. And over the years, being in this truth, not to say that I've been in this truth for any you know length of time or a great length of time by any stretch of the imagination, but for the time that I've been here, I've I've seen great teachers over the years who have been horrible brothers when you heard the full story. You had Element, formerly known as Amashaba'ala. When I was just coming in the truth, that was, you know, he was a brother that would teach like crazy, and his way of teaching was very inspiring. It would be like, hey, if I'm gonna break down the scriptures, or when breaking down the scripture, that's a mark that you want to look up or look to. And another one that was looked up to was Yaradan. One of the things that had struck me about Yaradan was the fact that he could, even though he was he could always teach. His him breaking down the scripture was always on point, but he had this extra thing to him where he could call precepts by name. So if he's breaking down something and he says, get me St. John 3:16, St. John 3:16 is exactly what he what he wants to come out. It's the exact precept he was thinking of, and he had the very point. So he had that ability to call precepts by name, like just like that, while breaking down. You had most recently we have a war. Thinking about the lessons that we would have watched with him over the years and learned a lot as well. Only to find out afterwards that good teacher, just not a good brother. And then you have this dude that sent in his resignation. Good example. Can teach like hell, but where it is. And it's a cautionary tale to myself first and foremost, but also to the Akim. Be very careful, with that spirit. Now this is 1 Corinthians chapter 8, and I'll start at 1. It says, now as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth. So yeah, you have brothers that have knowledge in many different things, and you have a lot of brothers that with that knowledge, they can teach like hell. They're eloquent speaker. They they know the precept. They can break down the precepts, or they can find the precepts or whatever, and they have knowledge. But we all have knowledge on a certain degree. The Lord has given us our measure within lots, and each man has their specific measure. But outside of that, Paul is saying what? Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edified. Why did he make that distinction? Let's look on let's check a few of these words and see how it goes. Slakia, let me just take a sip of this tea. All right. So let's just take check the word knowledge, and let's go through real quickly. This is the Greek. Let me play it.
Strong's G 1108. Gnosis. Gnosis.
All right, and it says knowledge signifies in general intelligence, understanding. So we all have, if you're in this truth and you're actually growing in the spirit, you're gonna have some form of knowledge or understanding in some way, shape, or form. Look at B. It says in the general knowledge of Christian religion, meaning that your general knowledge within the truth. It says the deeper, more perfect and enlarged knowledge of this. It says religion, such as belong us to more advanced. So you have a lot of men that you know they may seem deep, or they're good at breaking down advanced things. But once again, we all have our certain measure. It says moral wisdom, such as is seen in right living. Now, this is the knowledge that most of these men lack. And once again, I pray to Yahweh Shem Shai that I don't lack this as well. It says what? Moral wisdom, such as is seen in right living. So these men on camera, they teach like hell. They break down the scriptures. They call the precepts by name, but off camera, just straight up demons, just like giving brothers hell. All right, but that is the word knowledge. It says knowledge profit up. Let's look on the word profit. Right, it says to inflate. The second definition says to inflate, blow up, or cause to swell. Puff up, make proud. To be puffed up, to bear oneself loftily, be proud. So knowledge is something that can definitely make a man proud, and it can make us behave proud at times. Now, when you go in the book of Proverbs, it tells you that one of the things that the Most High hates the most is pride. And also, in the book of Sirach, it also tells you that what pride is when a man turn it away from his maker. Because guess what? You think it's you. You think I've done this. I'm this wise person. I am this great person. In Jeremiah it also says that what the wise man should not boast in his wisdom, but if any man should boast, they should boast in the fact that they know Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and his judgments and his mercies. So yeah, knowledge profit up. So it's not solely about getting knowledge. Recently the Apostle Ramlab was doing a sit down, and he was pretty much explaining that look, brothers shouldn't burn themselves out, and being overwhelmed trying to do a video every day. Now, he's not discouraging brothers to push the from pushing the doctrine, or from trying to reach that point. I think that's a point that we should all strive to get at, but at the same time, we all have different measure of the spirit. So don't make it be a thing that you're thinking that you're not a man of the Lord if you're not doing a lesson every single day. That might not be your spirit, but ensure that you're teaching. I always say that from my standpoint, I think 3 a week the least is good, but definitely strive to go past that. But based on your measure and based on your lot, that's between you and the Lord, just as long as you're doing it in sincerity. Because at the end of the day, it's as I've been talking since the start of this lesson, you have men that put out a lot of videos. You have men that break down these scriptures to the T, but they do it for pride. They do it to for the praises of men, or for self gratification, or whatever the case may be. It's not being done out of charity. It's not being done out of the benevolence of the body. Right? So it says what knowledge profit up, but charity edify. Let's look on the word charity. Right? And it's from the Greek agape. You should be, if you're watching GMS videos, you should be familiar with this word by now. It says affection, goodwill, love, benevolence, brotherly love. Right? So it means that at all times, in everything that you do, you're doing it with the mindset of a brother's goodwill within your heart, or the fact that you want to see better for a brother, you are compassionate towards a brother, or the few sisters that are around, everything that you do is with that love and that affection of wanting to see good for your brother and wanting him to move further, you know regardless of what it is, whether it's you're teaching a lesson, whether you're giving a brother alms, whether it's giving advice. It shouldn't be from a mindset of, oh, I'm this wise person, so this is why, I'm coming, or because I have money, I'm just gonna do this, because guess what, at the end of the day, when things go down, it's me they have to come to, or you know, just from that pride standpoint, brothers maybe should know what I mean, or I'm hoping that brothers get what I mean when I'm giving these examples. You know, it shouldn't be from that standpoint. It should be like, oh wow, brother needs this. All right, let me give some advice, or let me give what I can, whatever it is, depending on what the situation is. Throwing up some prayers, whatever the case may be, and you're doing it from the mindset of, yo, I hope, I want the brother to be good. I want the brother to be taken care of. I want, just as how I'd want for myself if I should be in a situation, or the mindset I want brothers to have towards me is a mindset of goodwill, and always, having my best interest at heart, from a genuine place, just as the Lord Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shem Shai, has done for us. Hence the purpose why Yahweh Shai went on the cross, for the love of of his people, which is Israel, right? So it says charity edified, right? And this is the word edified. It says to build a house, to erect a building. We're building New Jerusalem. We're building the tabernacle of David, right? It says to promote growth in Christian wisdom. We know that this is going back to the men in the truth, affection, grace, virtue, holiness, blessedness, to grow in wisdom and piety. So whatever you're doing towards a brother, when you have true charity, whatever you're doing unto the believers is for their growth, and them being built up within the ministry, right? So the wisdom is not for you. The wisdom is not for your personal gain, to be like, oh yes, I'm the man, or or if you get some money, it's not about, oh yeah, I'm the man. Nothing at all. Whatever it may be, it's not to say that you're the man, but you should be doing it with the mindset of, hey, this is gonna help a brother to stand on his own 2 feet, or a believer to stand on their own 2 feet, a believer to be built up and nourished, and be able to grow within the faith. But a lot of men, they don't get this, good teachers, but once again, horrible brothers. All right. Now, verse 2 says, and if a man thinketh that he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing, yet as he ought to know. Exactly, because the pride has blinded him. Right? But if any man love God, the same is known of him. And that is it. We're just trying to do what is pleasing unto the Lord, which Yahweh Shai summed it up perfectly, saying that, look, to love the Lord with all thy heart, and with all thy soul. And the second is like unto it, which is what? To love thy neighbor as thyself, to have that goodwill, and wanting to see your fellow Israelite being built up and being nourished, to always be in a good case. As it says, what? Love worketh no ill to his neighbor, for love is the full is the love is the fulfillment of the law. All right. Now on this side, we know that we 2/3 of our people are unbelievers. Or we have unbelievers that are not going to make it. But with those within the ministry, there's a certain level of love and affection and care that you should have for those within the body. And that brotherly love, and how you you interact with brothers and the believers should be to the highest level. And even then, even among the unbeliever, you still have to conduct yourself a certain way, even within that walk amongst those who are not of the faith. All right. I have one more precept. This is 1 Corinthians 13, verse 1, right? It says, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, and have not charity, and become as sounding brass, or tinkling symbol, or a tinkling symbol. And that is the thing. Slovakia, right? So that is the thing, imagine that, knowing all these different languages, can break down the Hebrew and the history, and go into Greek and the Latin, and then at the end of the day you don't give two squats about a brother. Then what's the point? It says, and though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries, you can break down the prophecies, you can go into various mysteries and all of that, and knowledge, and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, so that I could move mountains, and have not charity, I am nothing, meaning that you're doing all of that without the right mindset of the true love and goodwill and benevolence towards the Akim, or the believers. Then it's all for show, it's all for nothing, because the mindset is what it's about. It's not what you do, but your motives behind why you do it. That's why the scripture says, what the Lord knoweth the intents and the hearts of men. And within this truth, the elect have a certain mindset, the elect have a certain way of conduct, and the Lord sees that they did, and it's all between what them pleasing Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Right? It says, and though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and have not charity, it profited me nothing. So you may do all these things, but you do it with a bad heart, or you do it with the wrong motive, as I said earlier. But in the end, it's all for nothing, because the key ingredient is to have that the agape, that true love, that sincere love, and doing it for the nourishing and the building up of those who you're extending it unto. From teaching these lessons to all these other things that you may do in a carnal sense, or giving advice, or throwing out them prayers, or it's all to you. Just the mindset should be, hey, the brother needs this so they can, or the believer needs this so that they could be good. And I would want that for myself as well. We take care of each other. All right, and that is what is pleasing unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Those are the men that Yahushai is coming back for, because those are the men that will establish a righteous kingdom. Those are the righteous men that will take care of his people and love his people as he has loved them. So, I hope this was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways, pushing his word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps, the hopeful elect. Shalom.